Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have another piece of art that was done on stream, and this is the second to last, so the fourth installment of my Fair Foods set. And actually, as of this voiceover, I'm finished with all of them. We finished Cotton Candy on stream on Monday, and I've already got the sticker sheet designed. So I just have to print them out and cut them out, and then we're good to go. So hopefully sometime next week I'll get those up on my shop. And then it's time to start the Halloween stuff for the Halloween update. I know, it sounds really early, it's summer, but generally speaking, it's good to get Halloween stuff out August 1st, like beginning of August. So you have time to ship it out, and if it's made to order, you have time to make it. For me, I might be traveling as well, so I want to make sure this stuff is done in time. But that's later. We're going to get to this artwork now. As you just saw, I used my light box to trace my sketch onto some Bristol board, and then now I'm going over the sketch with colored pencil just so I can see it. This was after I lightened it up quite a bit. I mention this every time, but I really try not to leave any graphite if I can help it, like nothing visible, because, well, I mean, very, very light marks, but I don't want any decent amount of graphite because it will smudge with the alcohol ink, and that will be not cute. So we don't want that. So I always lighten it up as much as I can, and then I also erased once I put the colored pencil down, so there's even fewer marks. And then I started out with this stick. It's just white with some gray shadows. I tried to keep it a warm gray. I want this whole set to be pretty cohesive and relatively warm, so that's why I chose some warm grays. And then I went in with a yellow for the apple because it is a green apple. There's a lot of yellow tones. At this point, when I started working on the apple, I realized we're really dealing with like 3 separate color palettes here. We have a green apple, we have the chocolate, and we have the caramel. Or I guess, oh, I shouldn't have said that in the wrong order. From top to bottom, it's the apple, the caramel, and the chocolate. So we have basically like so many markers, 3 different like sets of colors that I had to work with. And it took a long time. And the apple, I still feel like I don't have enough like brown greens or yellow greens, and it was just looking way too cool. So I ended up in the end going over a lot of it with a yellow and then some colored pencil as well, some brown colored pencil. And it did work out in the end, I think. Surprisingly, I did actually like how saturated it was. But I think if I had a different selection of markers, a larger selection of markers, I know I already have a ton of markers, but could always use more. If I had a larger selection of markers, it would not look this way. It would be more toned down, I think. But I think it's fine. It stands out when it comes to, you know, a set about fair foods and going to the fair. I think it looks cute. And then now we're on to the caramel. I say caramel. If you don't say caramel, I was going to say good for you, but actually it does kind of annoy me a little bit. But as an English teacher, I know that people speak English differently in different places, and that's totally fine. I shouldn't be mad about it, but I'm just a little bit mad about it. Anyways, I say caramel, and this was kind of fun. The goal was to make it look super glossy. The most difficult part of this was that you can see the reference image. There's some like parts that have like a whole lot of light on it, but it's not like the white highlights. It's sort of like a desaturated shadow slash highlight. Like, it's like a lighter part in the part that's already under shade. I'm talking about on the right side, if you can squint your eyes and look at the reference image a little harder. That was kind of hard to do, and I don't think I really replicated it, but honestly that's fine because I wanted this set to be cohesive, and so all of these different works, the lighting's actually coming from the top left, which to be fair is usually my default for kind of everything. So I guess a lot of people like seeing light coming from the top left, considering these photographers who took these royalty-free reference images all chose the left side, mostly towards the top. So yeah, I suppose that's fine. I did change a little bit to make the lighting a bit more even and more consistent with the other artworks. Some of that was intentional, some of it wasn't. Like basically it was like, I can't figure out how to make that work. I don't have like a gray brown color like that. Maybe it would have helped if I had used like a color picker or something, just like on my iPad, to see what color exactly that was. But when I realized I didn't know how to achieve it, I was like, well, I don't need it anyway. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you even know what I'm talking about. Do you see that in the reference image? It's like not the darkest shadows, it's not the mid-tone, it's like a lighter section in the shaded area, right? That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, it was working out pretty well, and then I was like, I think we can get to the chocolate now. I was still imagining what it was going to look like after I added the bright white highlights, so it's not completely all together yet, and of course there will be colored pencil on top, but I went on to the chocolate, and I did fewer nuts than what's in the reference image. It just makes sense. One, it would be really annoying to anyway, especially with alcohol markers. They would bleed, so it's really hard to keep small shapes unless you like layer on top with something opaque. So I suppose I could have gone in with gouache or something on top to do the peanuts, but I didn't really want to because these are going to be tiny little stickers, and how are you going to even know that those are peanuts if they're super tiny and there's so many of them? So we held back a little bit and we only did a few bits of peanut, and then we went on to the chocolate. Similar kind of deal here, where there's a section that's in like the shadow, but it's lighter than the other shadows because there's probably some like, it's very shiny and probably some light is bouncing off from a window somewhere or whatever. I kind of worked with that a little bit, but same as before, I don't think it's very noticeable. It's less noticeable in the reference image in the chocolate anyway because it's so much darker and it's not quite as shiny. So I worked with it how I could, and got to use a lot of these delicious looking brown colors, which I don't often get to use dark brown, but it's very satisfying when I do, such as the s'mores art, which I also have a video of on my channel. Basically, I bought a brown Copic because there was sort of a gap in my Ohuhu collection to draw brownies for a recipe card, which I only have the pumpkin pie recipe card on my Etsy so far. That's a goal maybe for the future, some more recipe cards, illustrated recipe cards. But I ended up not liking the brownie. It just looked like mush, like a blob of something that wasn't a brownie, or like a smooshed brownie. I don't know. So that's why I did the s'mores, and now every time I take out that Copic, I'm like, oh, I get to use the marker that I bought for the brownie, and it wasn't a waste of my money. So yeah, here we're going in with the white Holbein, soft white, by the way. This is the soft white Holbein colored pencil, which is different from the regular white. It's very soft, and you have to use a knife to sharpen it, so if this doesn't look very precise, that's why I didn't really want to sharpen it, but it's fine. I didn't use it for like tiny dots anyway. I actually went in with my gel pen, and actually the Copic Acrea I used a little bit, I think, though I don't know if I cut that out or not. Still not really my favorite. I think I did actually film it. But anyways, I had to go back and sort of like adjust the values a bit once I added the lightest colors. I wanted to make sure I had some darkest colors. Again, this triangle Ohuhu black, I've used it before in previous artwork, and it does not blend out. Like, I would lay down the brown on top of it and it just doesn't blend out. The brown blends and then the black doesn't. So I think it just stains the paper, but that's fine. It worked out anyway. And this is what we got. I think it looks super tasty. And that's about it. So the set will be available later, next week. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!